Hey, how you doing?
We get a lot of questions about how we get Wi-Fi on the road. We've talked about our Wi-Fi antenna and we get a lot of questions about it. So we thought we'd do a video talking about how we get Wi-Fi, what we use for Wi-Fi, and why we use it.
And we'll talk about the big debate. Who's the best cell phone service provider to have out here on the road? We've showed that we have a Wi-Fi antenna out here in the truck, and people always ask, is it worth it? Why do you have it? Some people, you're like, well, there's unlimited data now. You don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. But you really do. We were with AT&T, well, I was for a good 15 years, and I was getting fed up with their customer service, and everybody was saying Verizon was so good, this and that. Then Verizon was one of the first carriers to come back out with unlimited data. So us being data hogs, you know, we use a lot of it. We decided to make that change and go try out Verizon. We tried out Verizon for about 2 months, and probably the biggest mistake we ever made. Now, I know a lot of people have Verizon and
love it.
And love it, you know, they don't have no issues. For us, it was a huge issue. For the amount of data that we use uploading videos, watching YouTube, watching Netflix, checking Facebook, emails, all of that, you know, everything we do on the internet per month, we needed a lot of data, you know, we just needed it.
With the Verizon, we found that we were going over and they were throttling us.
Yeah, we were going over the allotted 22 gigabytes per month. And I think one time we were in Ontario during peak times or whatever, and we were getting throttled.
Yeah.
We had an agent call us and was saying, hey, we've got to pick up here, going here for this much. I'm trying to look it up, how many miles, how many deadhead miles, how many loaded miles, well, you know, was it going to be worth it? Was it a load we wanted to take? And I couldn't. I could not get anything to work. Couldn't get my Google Maps to work, to check mileage, nothing. And I was like, what the hell? You know, I can't even do my business because we went over a little bit on our data, you know? So I was just like,
yeah, and there's
this ain't working. You know, Verizon sucked
yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
It was not working for us.
No.
It's like as soon as that 3 o'clock rolled around, boom, you were throttled immediately. You can barely send a text message.
And that's just, I know, we've talked to people that have never, they're like, we never get throttled.
Right.
And you know, that's great. This is just our experience with it, and it was not a good one.
It was not good. So after that 2 months, we went back with AT&T.
Because then they finally got unlimited.
Yeah, they got unlimited, so we went back. Sure, with AT&T, you get 22 and a half or something gigabytes per line to use. We have yet to be throttled with it.
I haven't noticed any slowdown.
We have yet to notice it. We've always been able to pull up our phones, do our business if we needed to, look up locations, you know, just everything business related that we need to, and never had a problem with it. Even going over the 22 gigabytes, we go over every month. Heather's close to 50 gigabytes a month. I'm up in the 40 gigabytes. So we're going over that allotted amount. A lot of people ask, well, why have a Wi-Fi if you got unlimited data?
We got this antenna when we pretty much first got out here within the first year and didn't have unlimited data.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the second year we got it. Yeah.
Year.
So that's why we got it. Let's talk about what the Wi-Fi antenna actually does.
Right. So basically, it's an antenna that's outside the truck, and it picks up any Wi-Fi signals within a certain range. The farther the range, the weaker the signal. We use it at Pilot Flying J's and park anywhere in the parking lot and never have problems with it. So what it does, though, is it's an antenna outside with a cable running inside to a router. Now, this router broadcasts the Wi-Fi signal inside the truck. So the antenna brings it from outside, the cable brings it inside the truck. If you've ever noticed, you can be at a truck stop, and sure, you might be able to connect to their Wi-Fi on your phone if you're parked next to the building, but then as soon as you go into the sleeper, the signal drops, you don't get as fast a service. You know, just being inside an enclosed area is going to weaken the Wi-Fi signal. So what the Wi-Fi signal antenna and router do is just brings it inside, so we constantly have a strong signal. And the thing's really good. I mean, it works really good.
It does. And even though we have unlimited data now, we still use the Wi-Fi because we don't want to get throttled. That doesn't, just because we haven't been now doesn't mean we won't.
Imagine what our...
We already have it, so why not use it?
Imagine what our data would be like if we didn't have it.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We'd probably both be in the 100 gigabytes a month.
And now that doesn't mean that it's a great signal all the time. It has a lot to do with what signal the Wi-Fi antenna is putting out from wherever the
If it's not a good Wi-Fi,
yeah,
to begin with, it's not going to make it better.
No. No.
It has to be a good Wi-Fi signal. It has to be a good connection, internet speeds, and all that.
Another thing that's good for having this Wi-Fi antenna is a lot of times there's updates on our phones, our laptops, our tablets that require you to be connected to a Wi-Fi to be able to do the updates. So that's another reason why we love having it. If we're near a Wi-Fi connection, we can use that. We don't have to tether between our phones or to our iPad or whatever to do that update.
Yeah. Now there are times where our cell phone service is a better, faster internet speed than the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
So sometimes we'll go ahead and upload a YouTube video tethering to our tablet or something. But then if we can use the Wi-Fi and we are parked in a good parking lot with good internet service, then it helps out tremendously because we can both be back here on our phones watching YouTube or Netflix, both of us together at one time, and you know, no buffering. You know, it's...
Now, one thing I have noticed sometimes in truck stops is the later it gets in the evening and the more drivers that are coming in and using the Wi-Fi, that may slow it down.
It slows
even
it down
with the antenna.
Yeah. It all depends on how many people are connected to the Wi-Fi, but the Pilot Flying J's are pretty decent.
Yeah, we're pretty consistent with them.
Yeah, it has seemed like it's gotten slower since we first got it, because we got it when they first came out with it. We had our Wi-Fi antenna back then. They came out with the better enhanced Wi-Fi.
We pay for a whole year subscription to it. And
$99
for the whole year.
Most of the time when we're looking for a truck stop to park at, we're looking for a Pilot Flying J. Now, the Wi-Fi antenna that we use is called a Wi-Fi Ranger. There's plenty of brands out there. We tried the Winegard one. It works pretty good. Not as good as the Wi-Fi Ranger, but it's a good option. You can do some research and see what's out there. I recommend the Wi-Fi Ranger. It's expensive.
It is expensive.
$650, $750,
yeah.
I think it was, and that was installing it myself. So, but the options you get on it, we can either Wi-Fi or we can actually plug up to the router and get a hardwired internet connection. The Wi-Fi Rangers have special features like safe surfing that you can check more privately kind of stuff on the Wi-Fi. I never recommend that. If we need to check our bank or something, we'll disconnect from the Wi-Fi, check what we need to on the bank, and then sign out and then reconnect to the Wi-Fi. Just because you never know. You never know with the internet out here these days. But
it also has the ability to, where we've had some of our friends park next to us, we can actually set up another connection to where they can connect to our antenna through our Wi-Fi antenna and get a better signal.
Basically
as well.
like a guest signal.
Yeah.
You know, and I can set up a login and password just for the guests. Those are the added benefits of that extra cost with the Wi-Fi Ranger. It's a good buy. We've had good luck with it.
So yeah, we just kind of wanted to talk about that since we have had questions about it. Is it something that you need? It's not necessary. You know, if you do have unlimited Wi-Fi and you do not use a lot of Wi-Fi, you don't need to probably spend $700 on a Wi-Fi antenna.
Right.
It's something that we purchased before we had the unlimited data, and we continue to use it because we do have it. But it is an option if that is something you're looking for and you do use a lot of data. I know there's a lot of people out here, they don't have TV and they strictly watch Netflix, YouTube, you know, that uses a lot of data. So
that's our experience. You know, I'm sure there's tons of other experiences out there. This is what works for us. We have no complaints. AT&T, Wi-Fi Ranger, we're set.
Yeah, leave us some comments with what you use out on the road. Maybe give us some ideas or other people ideas of some other things that are out there. Thank you as always for watching and subscribing.
Until our next video.
Peace, love, and expediting. Peace, love, and expediting. Wait, I said that funky.
Yeah, you did. That's why I don't say it with you. because it never matches up.
All right, so peace, love, and expediting.
Expediting.
Okay. Let's do it before it dies.
Okay.